Before we start this live stream, I'd like to go over a few community guidelines. Please be civil, respectful, and tactful to all people, groups, and organizations we may be talking about. It's okay to not like everyone, and please use extreme tact while talking about these things. I want to keep the environment very positive around you. Please no graphic sex, violence, death, and I'll add in politics. Let's keep our politics at the door. And let's keep this channel suitable for the entire family to enjoy. Let's have some fun, guys. Let's have some fun. Hello, good morning, guys. Oh my goodness, I hit the wrong button. Don't you hate when that happens? Well, welcome to the show. I'm Retro Nerd Girl, and I'm broadcasting live from the International Science Fiction Space Station. And today we're just going to go through the headlines of the entertainment news. There's a lot happening. Boy, 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 was I in for a surprise when I put together this list. There's a lot. We had a lot going on since our last episode, or the last time we talked, um, or the last show like this, the last morning show. Um, we had uh, we had the Super Bowl, right? And we had the BAFTAs, and then we had some other award show. It's just wild, but yeah. Well, I'll go through what I have here. Let's see. Oh well, yes. Keith, he says that he can hear me. Great, 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 great. Good to see you, Keithy. And let's see, we got the first one up this morning is Unicorn Rampant Studios says, get your headlines. Oh man, that's so cool. And El Necron is here as well. Great to see you guys. Really appreciate you guys for supporting me this morning. Um, let's see, I do have um, this is really great. No, I could we could just get right into the morning um news, the morning headlines, which is going to be amazing because there's a lot. So why not just get right into it? Now, I didn't know this person. I thought we could go um through any people who have passed on. And this individual I had not heard about, but his name is Tom Priestley, and he does Deliverance film editor, son of Inspector Calls. Playwright J.B. Priestley was 91. That's, he lived a long time. And that's really good. But yeah, that's looks like he was very important in the film business. So rest in peace, sir. And next thing up should be pretty easy. The box office. The box office is had some big changes this week. Big changes this week. We've got Bob Marley, One Love, hitting the number one spot. Um, the reviews for this movie are kind of mixed so far. What I've heard about it is that it is a lot of people were excited to see this. I said the lead actor is really good, but the only problem with it that I keep hearing over and over again is that it's a very squeaky clean story. They tried to put Bob Marley in like a perfect light instead of a more rounded, realistic light, like actual humans actually are multifaceted, sometimes good and sometimes not so good. So yeah, that was kind of a a, it didn't strike a great chord with a lot of viewers. So that was kind of a thing about that. I'm not sure how long this will stay up on the at the number one spot, but it definitely knocked Madam Web right off. And we thought that at least Madam Web would open with at number one, but unfortunately, the movie has not been able to reach number one. I think, simply put, there have been mostly bad reviews for this movie, for Madam Web at number two. Um, but there are some people who are saying that it is an absolute joy to watch this movie because it's so bad it's good, or enjoyable. And we always love those movies, don't we? Also, there are some people who are just saying that it is a movie out of time, that it is comparable to Elektra, that was done in the early aughts, or 90s, or no, early aughts or something to that effect. I'm not sure exactly when that was done, but it was done a very long time ago, and did not do very well, that movie. There is a lot of comparison on that front. Even people going as far as saying that Catwoman with Halle Berry was better. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So, yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes posted about what happens next with Madam Web, and we'll see also too with the Bob Marley story if that will hold on to the top spot. The only another thing I heard about the Bob Marley story was that the music was fantastic. Even though they don't play all the songs all the way through, it's still just sort of nice hearing all of those songs. And yeah, that was the what I heard on the streets, so to speak. And oh wow, some you guys have just started to leave me some messages, and let's see what you guys have said in the chat. Well, oh, Keith E is saying, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you as well, Keith E. Um, let's see. I missed everybody from my Saturday stream. I really did miss you guys. So sorry about having to postpone that, but I have not been feeling well lately, and it is definitely because I need a break, and so I'm going to be shifting my schedule around a little bit. And Moonbeam is also here. Says, "Hey everyone, great to see you, Moonbeam. Thanks for hanging out last night, and thank you too for Unicorn also for hanging out last night for the first official episode of really diving deep into Gargoyles, the TV show with us." And Daryl Johnson is here, says RNG. Hey, Daryl, how are you? I hope you're having a good morning. And William Blake Hall is here. It says, "Hey gang, I made it. My audio works. Yay! Oh, great! I'm so glad you were able to get your audio fixed." And Moonbeam says, "And Halle Berry got a Razzie for Catwoman. She sure did. She sure did. And she took it. When she took her Razzie, she did very well. It was in great style. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. My clicker is not obeying me today. Obey me. All right. Well, let's see. Argyle is I'm surprised Argyle is at number 3, but it is still holding on. People really gave this movie a bad they had some really bad things to say about Argyle. But I think there were also some people who were like, you know what, this is the first movie that could be part of a big franchise. Let's give it a shot. It's that it was like okay. I'm actually curious about what that is, and when it gets on streaming, I want to see it like immediately. Migration is still holding on, a nice family movie. The Chosen is also hanging into the number 5. I think it's going up on the list too. Yes, The Chosen. Then we've got Wonka still holding on in the top. This also rose. Beekeeper finally drops a little at number 7. It's doing so well. So I'm so happy that this David Ayer movie is really defying the odds. People were wishing terrible things on this movie. And it's supposed to, it has all the things everybody says that they've been wanting in a movie. Action, it's led by a dude. all, all of these things, everybody, and it's like, and then a whole bunch of people were like, no, we don't like it. The audience is so fickle, but here we have it. It's like it's doing so well, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing this too when I get a chance to see it. um it's it's really nice to see a movie kind of defy its fate, and I love that. I love that. Now there's another one on here that I love too that's defying its fate, and I will get to it soon. So we have Anyone But You. Now I did hear it, on its ninth week, which is fantastic. Um, and I saw a snippet of about maybe 5 minutes of the movie, and it was actually really interesting. It's definitely harkening back to the old rom-coms, where you have two people that are not really getting along, and they come together and have this romance. So I definitely want to take a look at that when becomes available. But I had no idea that a simple rom-com could do as well as it's doing. So kudos on that. I love that. Hopefully, I'm not the biggest rom-com fan, but I am a fan of cinema and hope that people will like something like that back in cinemas. We need just I want people to be happy. So I think that would be if rom-coms are the way to people being happy, like bring it on. Then we have Lisa Frankenstein, which is actually a movie that has I haven't really heard anybody give a review that was actually um, firm or concise on Lisa Frankenstein. Um, but it's on its second week and it's dropped considerably. Then we have Land of Bad. Now, this I've never heard of before, and so I'll have to do some research to find out more about Land of Bad. This is its first week. It starts off at number 10. Mean Girls is holding on at 11, and for its 6 week. So that's good for that movie. I mean, we expected that. We expected Mean Girls to do relatively well. But I think it's not doing as well as it should have. Um, and then American Fiction is another one that's kind of a surprise as well, and it is at number 10. Poor Things is still out there, and I think that's due to the Oscar stuff. And there is also I don't know what this 2024 Oscar shorts is, but maybe they've put all the Oscar shorts together for one movie, is what I'm guessing. And then at number 15, guys, holding on to the top 20 is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. My goodness, that movie is just, I don't know how it's doing it, but I think this might be the last week we see it on this high on the list. So, kudos for Aquaman. It was also expected to do poorly. And it made it, it did so well. It did so well. Let's see. And William Blake Hall says Argyle already left my old neighborhood theater. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's because it's Apple. Sorry, yes. Apple, they have a limited release, and it wasn't supposed to be this is why I keep telling people the model for streamers like Apple and Netflix are totally different than everybody else, because they don't care about box office as much as they're caring about actually getting people signed up, because once Argyle leaves the theaters, the only way for you to see Argyle is going to be on their platform. So they're very smart about this. I think it's kind of genius, but it's also like I can't really sign up for another streamer. I can't. Keith, he says, You're too funny. And, let's see. Um, and William Blake Hall says, "Beekeeper is still going strong. The power of Statham maintaining the Statham Crow." Yes, he is. I'm really happy that, and like I said, David Ayer, people had it in their minds that they were going to hate that director, and people for absolutely no reason other than not liking Suicide Squad previously really came at him and was like, very negative towards him. And I'm just really glad that he persevered, and Beekeeper is doing well. I mean, he hardly got any assistance as far as um marketing. There was hardly any marketing. You look at the difference between the marketing of something like Barbie, and then you look at Beekeeper, same studio. And it's like, it's incredible. They're just they just don't care. They just don't care. Oh, not same studio. I think this is MGM. I thought it was it's not the same studio, but look, you can see the difference, right? I mean, they don't spend that much money. Um, Sorry about that. I misspoke. It's not the same studio. I thought it was the same studio. Keith, he says, okay. He says, no. And William Blake Hall says, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom still exists. It must have gotten lost. Yes. Oh no, I have to hurry up because I'm behind. Daryl says, well, I got to Jet, have recycling to take care of, and dismantle a door. Oh wow. Okay. Well, you have a good day, and yeah, fun. Have fun dismantling the door. And let's see. William Blake Hall says Jane Seymour's real name is Frankenberg. Oh, cool. Um, and oh, El Necron said I didn't hate Aquaman too. Yeah, I mean it looks like it should be fun if anything. I mean, all of these movies look like it would be like cool. I mean, the I'm easy to please, I suppose. And El Necron says, I saw it as a protest to DCU. I think so too. Like, I mean, it's the last movie, but also they did everything that they could to sabotage that movie, and they really did. They really did do everything to sabotage, in my opinion. In my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, um, I don't want to spread any bad rumors. Danny Staten says, greetings from South Carolina. Well, greetings from space. Space, 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 space. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says, you mean Jane Seymour isn't descended from the Jane from the Jane Seymour? And Unicorn says, I'm 6 minutes behind. Oh yeah, sometimes the lag happens. I don't know what happens when that happens. Um, and William Blake also says, yes, she invoked the historical Jane's name. And imagine my surprise when I learned that Anne Hathaway is the actress's real actual name, and she wasn't invoking Shakespeare's wife. Oh, really? I didn't know they share the same name. Well, yeah, that's the box office, guys, which is really, uh, I don't know, it's such a big change from last week. So I thought that was fascinating. Headlines, guys. So the big news is definitely the Bob Marley movie, and Paramount's musical biopic Bob Marley One Love ruled in its box office debut, beating expectations, which is very rare for movies to do these days. It's with 28.6 million over the traditional weekend, and 52 million throughout the 6-day holiday stretch. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, um, we'll see if word of mouth doesn't damper the the uptick. Maybe this has something to do with music, that people are wanting to go to see musical things on screen. Who knows? The general audience speaks. They do what they do. And then the thing about Madam Web, which we probably might talk about, Madam Web breaks a new record, and it's not a good one. Madam Web is the worst box office opening ever for Sony's Spider-Man movie franchise, and that's pretty sad. A lot of people are saying a lot of hyperbolic things about the movie. Um, it's the worst movie ever. I'm like, you haven't seen you haven't seen enough movies if you think that movie's bad. And I don't have to see the movie to tell. At least it has some semblance of quality. It is uh definitely, like, I can see that there are some people who are enjoying this for the right reasons. There's some people who are like, oh yeah, I dug it. And then some people who were like, I'm enjoying the hot mess it is. And so well, one thing I think is very interesting about this movie is the marketing for the movie, where Dakota Johnson, the character that she plays in the movie is very quirky, but she herself is very quirky. So in many ways, she is doing a riff on her own self. So you can get a sense of that when you watch the interviews that she does for the movie, and it's really odd and unusual. And some of the things that she says is just so your her energy level is just, I don't know what's going on there. She doesn't really seem like she's really into it, which makes sense. Um, she actually is a pretty heavy duty. She can really do some heavy duty acting when put to the right material. So is kind of not really utilizing her very well. Um, and that's not something I know from. Like I said, I could just see that right there. Like, I'm like, when I saw the movie and the trailer, I'm like, why is Dakota Johnson in this? You know, like, it just doesn't seem like a good match, is all I'm saying right off the bat. You don't have to see the whole thing to just catch on to some things. But I do want to, I'm not going to make a judgment on the quality on the movie or whether I like the movie because I haven't seen it yet. But I'm just relaying some just impressions that I'm getting from the flavors of the trailer and such, um, which really matters. I mean, these are the things that get people in the seats in the theaters, and so when you don't nail it, then it really makes things a little bit um, hard for people to actually fill the seats. And William says, imagine as, oh, yes, you said that. I read that already. And William Blake also says, Terry Talks Movie says Dakota Johnson's narration. And, uh, oh, Terry Talks Movies plays Dakota Johnson's narration and asks, is this the most disinterested voiceover ever? Yeah, disinterested is what I would say, that the attitude that she has in her interviews, and they asked her, have you seen any of the material from the other not that she was supposed to, but she doesn't even know about them. And so, and there are jokes, like, upon jokes upon jokes upon jokes about that, which is fine. But I think if you're promoting a movie, people really want to know that you care about the characters and you care about the world. That's what fans really like. So when you have an established IP, just do act like you care about that IP, and that's the issue. And another thing too is I think a lot of I wonder if the actresses and a lot of people have said this. I'm not the first person to say this. They thought that they were actually working for Marvel Studios, and they're they're not. They're working for Sony, which is totally different. And it's very interesting, this whole thing with Sony, Disney, and trying to navigate the waters of like the license for Spider-Man and the world of Spider-Man, the characters that are contained in the Spider-Man universe, and what they're doing so far, which is I'm not sure what, but look, Craven is supposed to come out, which is kind of exciting. I'm kind of interested, and I think there's maybe one more movie I think that's coming out as well from that universe. If anyone knows, do let me know. William Blake Hall says Dakota Johnson is a Hollywood royal, being the daughter of Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson. Yes, she is, and sometimes she acts like it too. I don't. She generally has like a I don't care kind of attitude, but I don't think she doesn't care. I don't know if that's just something that she does. And I like to like I mean, I don't want to put her in a field in which we don't treat her like a human being, because there could be like sometimes when you get nervous, there's like certain behaviors that people adopt. So who knows? Who knows? And Keith E says Dakota Johnson is going to play Working Girl in Miami. Just kidding, of course. Okay. and and when Working Girl is a great movie, and my mom loves that movie too. And William Blake calls this best part of Working Girl is the song "Let the River Run." And let me get to my next story, which is going to still be about the box office, and that's to do with Anyone But You has become the highest grossing live action William Shakespeare adaptation with $190 million so far. And this movie, which one, which adaptation to which play? And it is Much Ado About Nothing. And so that's very, very interesting and cool at the same time. And I like the fact that they did not name it Much Ado About Nothing, because then there's no expectations, right? No expectations. Let's have some fun. And we've got this other Madam Web. I really should have put those two together. But after Madam Web got scathing reviews, some people started returning their tickets, guys. Wow. This is the part that's really sad. That just from hearsay, just from hearsay of people like excited to go see the movie, they heard the reviews and they returned their tickets. You can actually watch advance purchase sales declining in real time as buyers were refunding their tickets. Marvel's a major theatrical chain insider. Yeah, that's really, really sad, because there was an opportunity right there to gain new fans and to capture hearts and minds, and it was lost. Just a shame. We don't really hear a lot of stories like this that they return their tickets. And so, thanks to the Hollywood Handle, they put together a little list for us of the top highest grossing movies so far of 2024. And we've got Beekeeper as at number one. I mean, what? At $143 million. We got Mean Girls at 101.7 million. Bob Marley, One Love, 80 million. That's really good. That's good tracking right there. Argyle, not too bad, 77 million. Was supposed to do more. And Madam Web so far, only $51.5 million. So, I mean, I think it's hard to um, to really um, judge things, but this is so far. I mean, these are the top uh, grossing movies, and the next thing is the BAFTAs, and there's a lot to cover on the BAFTAs, but let's see what you guys are saying. And there's that crazy fake word adaptation again. Um, and it says, in about 20 minutes, my brother's first wife will be stopping by to fix some of the of the stuff that I broke around the house. I'll drop back in a little bit. Okay. I hope everything is okay. And William Blake also says, okay, that's bad. I'm old fashioned. Sit down and to the movie and suffer and actually know if and how bad it is. Yes, I mean it's a lot of people aren't willing to make that choice anymore. Remember, like you would at least try before, but now it's just like people aren't trying. They're like, nope, I'm just going to return my money and avoid this whole this whole thing. So it's really quite sad. Now we have the BAFTAs this weekend, and just going to quickly go through the winners really quickly. And uh, this was put together by GamesRadar.com, Faye Watson over there, and I just wanted to shout out my source on that one. So here we go. Best film winner, Oppenheimer, and BAFTA says, okay, so when when they were getting the award, some stranger walked up on stage with everybody, and so it was a bit scary because they didn't know who this person was, and so they are, um, the organizers are taking it seriously. They said, um, and the security removed the prankster who gate crashed Oppenheimer Best Film Suite. Suite. I I think that's the guy back here, right behind them. Like, what is going on, dude? It's so wild. Best leading actress. The winner was Emma Stone for Poor Things. A lot of people, thought at least this was the chance for Margot Robbie to get um, this award, but no, Emma Stone is looking like the clear winner right now. So that is interesting. And let's see, where is this? Best leading actor was uh, Cillian Murphy. Sorry, I was about to say Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Rising Star Award voted by the public. It was Mia McKenna Bruce. And Best Director was Christopher Nolan. Um, and even in this one, uh, yeah. Best Makeup in Here, winner, Poor Things. Best Costume Design, Poor Things. They're just raking up all of the awards. Outstanding British Film, Zone of Interest, which I was going to try to see. Best Short Film, Jellyfish and Lobster. Best Production Design, Poor Things. I thought for certain Barbie was going to get this, but no. Poor Things. Um, Sam. Best Sound, Zone of Interest. Best Original Score, Oppenheimer. Best documentary, 20 Days in Maripol. Best Supporting Actress, Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. Best Supporting Actor, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. I mean, that wasn't a surprise, right? Best Adapted Screenplay, American Fiction. It's getting a lot, that American Fiction is getting a lot of praise. Best Adapted Screenplay, American, did I already say that? Best Cinematography, Oppenheimer. And that's Hoyt van Hoytema. Best Editing, Oppenheimer, Jennifer Lame. Best Casting, The Holdovers. Best Film Not in the English Language, The Zone of Interest. Outstanding Debut by a British Writer, Director, or Producer. Savannah Leaf, Director, Producer. They don't say which movie it is. Or is it? I'm not sure. So if it's, yeah, not sure which one. Not sure what that one is. Best Animated Film, The Boy and the Heron. A lot of people like that movie. I can't wait till it's available for me to see, or maybe it is available. I just haven't seen it yet. Best Original Screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall. Best Special Visual Effects, Poor Things. And we're gonna go to the next story. I think we're done with the BAFTAs at that point. Let's see. Okay, Ki Kwan finally won an Oscar. I think that was last year. That wasn't this year. And Christopher Nolan says he would love to make a horror film, looking for a really exceptional idea. Imagine if he did a horror film. That would be crazy. I mean, some people I would consider Memento a horror film, but it's more of a thriller, right? It's more of a thriller. Then we have, as the first criminal trial over the tragic Rust shooting gets underway, prosecutors look to paint Hannah Gutierrez Reed as a druggie whose mistakes led to calamity. Defenders say she's a scapegoat for penny pinching producers. And yeah, that's partially true, I think. And that, there was a lot of penny pinching on set, and if they can at least bring that to light, that would be great. But there was some things that they said about Hannah that wasn't great, but there was also another person who was kind of trying to sabotage her as well, which was very interesting. That's another piece of the story. And it says here, Hannah Gutierrez Reed experienced a series of personal tragedies in the years immediately before working on Rust. Her mother was arrested multiple times. Her boyfriend died in a motorcycle accident, and a close friend was shot by police. And that's interesting, but I don't see how that plays a part in being absolved of this situation. So there has to be more evidence in her favor than just something like that. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one because no one wants to see anybody. It was an accident. It was an accident, but precautions should have been taken to make sure that that gun was not live. This is an interesting one. Um, Michael Cera, who's like been in the news lately, he did this really cool commercial for the Super Bowl. Says that Ben Affleck was at one point set to be in Barbie, which would have been very funny um, to see him just sort of pop up in the movie. And I'm glad that they didn't do that. It would have made it a little bit too cheeky. And the first reactions to Denis Villeneuve's Dune 2, which I am like completely like trying to figure out how am I going to get to the theater to see that movie, because I think it's going to be amazing. So far, the reviews are insanely good. People are just like, it says here, say people say that this film is even better than the first, one of the best sci-fi films for generations, and jaw-dropping masterpiece. Like that's what I want to see in the theater. Okay, so that I want like. Uh, how do you get people in the theater like this? This is how you get people in the theater. I want to be part of the zeitgeist of people taking part in the experience of seeing this movie in theaters, because it is gonna be, it's so anticipated, and people love the first one, and the people are saying how amazing the second one is. So yeah, I definitely want to try to see if I can hitch a ride or do something, find a way to get to a theater. I approached her like I did. Oh, okay, Denis Villeneuve on casting Florence Pugh in Dune Part Two. Now this is what he said. I approached her like I did Zendaya for Part One, and said, "Listen, I want you to gamble with me. I'll produce your character in Part Two. I'm sorry. I'll introduce your character in Part Two, and if there's a Dune Messiah, you will be one of the main characters." And this is what really gets me excited. Like he's thinking about Dune Messiah, which means there might be more, there could be more, there could be more. And if we can get to like Children of Dune, if we can get to Emperor God, uh Dune, Emperor God, that would be amazing. That would be something I would want, and I would love for Villeneuve to do it, because only he could do it properly. So yeah, I mean, imagine if they did manage to do all of the movies up until Chapter House. It would be insane. It would be insane. I would be super happy. We've gone from Dune to being a movie that was unfilmable to, hey, we're actually gonna probably get to Messiah. I'm so excited. Now, this is a huge picture that was taken on the red carpet with all of these guys together, and all of their very unique looks. Zendaya got a lot of press to look at her outfit, which was sort of a callback to the 80s. I'm sorry, not the 80s, the 90s. So she was in a vintage piece, and that was actually kind of cool. It's an ode to Maria from from Metropolis, the movie Metropolis, done in the and Anya Taylor Joy looking crazy over there. I can't wait to see everybody. This is insanely um, anticipated. Uh, And Denis Villeneuve says he won't release Dune 2 deleted scenes. So there were some deleted scenes, but he's not releasing them. When it's not in the movie, it's dead. So he's got, and this is not uh, something that all directors has. He has full control over this movie. They have trusted him that much, and they don't do that often. So he has complete creative control. He's got edit. He's got control of the final edit. Everything is oversaw. He oversees every single bit of this, so he doesn't have to worry about deleted scenes that he has not approved. That it does not belong in the story he is telling, and that's why it's so important for directors to have that input. And some of these other studios, and even Warner Brothers as well, the studio that's putting this one out, does the same thing. They try to stick their hands in there and get final edit over the directors, and then you have director's cuts and like deleted scenes. Like, yeah, this scene was supposed to be in the movie, and Denis is like, no, we don't need to have that available. Yeah, we don't need to release those. Those are, that's the rejected pile. And so far what we know is that Dune 2's budget is reportedly $190 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Let's see what you guys are saying. Um 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 William Blake Hall says, I wonder what Nolan could do with that recent Invisible Man movie. That was harrowing. And Moonbeam says, The Boy in the Heron is Studio Ghibli. And William Blake Hall says, I wonder how Stepman would weigh in on this. On which thing? So I must be behind. Sorry about this. And William Blake Hall says, I see Affleck, and all I could think of is Accountant 2. Yes, that's coming. We talked about that last week. He's making, I believe, Accountant 2. Yes. And William Blake Hall says, Dune Messiah. Hey, Denny, I want my rendezvous with Rama. And with enough dunes, you could just call the whole franchise desert. And Moonbeam says the original Dune was 40 years ago. Yep. And oh, Jamalema's here. Hello, Jamalema. 190 million chump change. Oh, great to see you. Skywalker the Jedi is here. Good morning, Retro. Best of energy on this beautiful day. Thank you so much. You as well. You have a wonderful day. And I wanted to thank you. I'm not sure if you left before I did thank you for the super chat yesterday. But since you're here now, why not just give you the thank you. Here you go. Thank you so much. Yes, I hope you're having a fantastic morning. And yeah, so let's see. This is very interesting. So there was some hoopla about the other like Band-Aid song. And this is sort of the one that came after the We Are the World, is sort of the improved version of that song. And I believe Netflix is doing a documentary on it. There we go. The Netflix documentary, The Greatest Night in Pop, revels in nostalgia. My mom actually saw this, and she was telling me a little bit about this, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom. That's a great story. I'm going to throw that in the news." It says, but the heart of the film spotlights the relationships between the pop stars who recorded "We Are the World." And I've got to see if I can get some time, carve out a little bit of time to see this because I did love that song. And the series actually, or well, the documentary covers a lot to do with Lionel Richie, and he gives a lot of his thoughts. There's a lot of stuff going on with him that one night because there was the award show and all sorts of things that he was doing. And it says after Kimmel pressed Lionel Richie on why he had to choose between Cyndi Lauper and Madonna for "We Are the World," Richie conceded that they should have just featured both artists. Yeah, and I didn't realize that they were so close to, they had to make a choice. But yeah, they had to make a choice between Cyndi Lauper and Madonna, which I did not know. Lots of really cool stuff behind the scenes, like figuring out, um, and I'm glad that these artists are still around to share their stories. Matt Damon is as anxious as you are to see if the new Jason Bourne movie happens. So there's been talks about this, and he says, "I hope it gets. I hope it's great, and that we can do it. But at a certain point, somebody is going to need to take over. I'm not getting any younger." Yeah, I mean he's really doing a lot, but it would be good. It would be good to have one last Jason Bourne movie, I think. And yes, this is another one. The same. Um, uh, oh, okay, another Madam Web thing. The Madam Web box office flop is wiping out an entire plan for a new movie series as Sony becomes the latest superhero studio in need of a pivot. And I think I put this in there because there were talks of people saying, "Oh, this is going to ruin the entire Spider, uh, Spider-Man franchise for Sony," and I don't think so. I think it's a bump, but if anything, let Aquaman inspire us a little bit. Just maybe Craven might come out and be incredible. I mean, that's a lot of wishing and hoping, but you never know. You never know. You never know. So this is may not be the end of the road for Sony Spider-Man. Just have to wait and see what happens. Harvey Weinstein's lawyer, Arthur Aladia, urged the highest court in New York to overturn Weinstein's conviction, saying that too many accusers were allowed to testify at his trial. And that's pretty weird. You would think that the more people that testified meant that that would be the strongest evidence to lock somebody away for the crimes that they've committed. But it's very interesting. He could actually get an appeal. That's very scary. Um, Let's see what you guys Skywalker says you're the best. Oh no, you're the best. And well, Beam 87 says be back in a moment. Okay. Okay. And so William Blake Hall says, oh, once Damon made a joke about a Bourne redundancy. Now it's a historical fact. Maybe. And Jamalama says, I have this weird feeling Craven will be good. I hope so. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I really do like the actor playing Craven, and they may have some story issues that they need to work on. I hope they revise it big time, but I don't know. Now, I've got the story on Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton revealed that he and Beetlejuice director Tim Burton didn't want to lean too heavily on CGI for their upcoming sequel to the 1988 cult comedy. And I hope so. Because Tim Burton, when you harken back to a lot of the stuff that he did prior to the age of CGI really booming, or I would say pre-aughts, um, uh, you know, he was really incredibly talented at getting these practical things to look so interesting and weird and wild and fantastical. So I hope that he does sort of have a return to the old style that he used to do. Like once CGI came into the picture, everything had this gloss or veneer of like um, it just didn't work as well as it did when it was practical. It was still good. He's still an artist, but it just uh, love the practical that he did in the 80s and early 90s. And, uh, and El Necron says Tim Burton is cool. Yeah, I like his stuff, and he's got some great ideas. And William Blake Hall says my favorite Tim Burton movie is Ed Wood. Ooh, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And Skywalker the Jedi says, "What are your thoughts and feelings on this Beetlejuice sequel?" Well, at first I didn't want it to happen, but I think that um, uh, if they're keeping things in mind, like how he's talking about not having so much CGI in it, maybe this could be good. They did name it appropriately, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. I do like that name, but one takeaway is that they did have a promo poster that looked really oh, I mean, it looked like AI came up with it, and it was very uninspiring and very. I was like, uh, "This is, we could do better, or we could do better." And maybe I am a little bit tough on posters, but those are the things that drive people to the theater. Those are the things that get you excited about these kinds of movies. And so, unfortunately, the poster that they put out was um, very lackluster. Um, and so, Jim Malama says, "I can't explain why I think Craven will be at least decent. I'm not at all optimistic about superhero movies these days." Yeah, I don't think anybody is. And between Keaton and Burton and Jenny Ortega. Oh yeah, Jenna Ortega. I forgot. That's the other reason why I actually think it'll be good. Does not um she doesn't just do anything. She questions authority, and so when she's given these projects to do, she wants the she kind of puts her own stamp on it. So I think it would be kind of cool. Uh it's just going to be weird seeing another person kind of playing opposite Beetlejuice when I'm just so I think Winona is Ryder is going to be in the film, but it's not gonna. I don't know. I always wanted to see Lydia and Beetlejuice kind of be like besties or something, like the cartoon. I mean, remember the cartoon? Does everybody remember the cartoon? I love the cartoon. And and William Blake Hall has some lyrics for us to enjoy from the movie. Yes, and we did see the first Beetlejuice movie on a watch party. That was a lot of fun. So then we have this really interesting bit of news that I got my hands on. Zendaya, um, I'm sorry, Zendaya, Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, and Chris Hemsworth will serve as the Met Gala's co-chairs this year, which I think is very interesting. They did try to get a lot of different people from different aspects of pop culture to be a part of this. Chris Hemsworth, I'm like, wow, he's gonna be a part of Met Gala's co-chairs. I mean, I think every single year I like Chris Hemsworth more and more and more and more. I don't know what it is. He just seems to be making the right moves. The Extraction movies were amazing. I hope he does more of those. And I just like the stuff that he's doing. And yeah, you would expect J Lo to be on there. You would expect Zendaya. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Zendaya. Zendaya to also be on there. They're fashion icons, and even Bad Bunny as well. He's always seems to have incredible costumes and or outfits when he's on the red carpet. So it's kind of nice. I like this. I like this. HBO delays posting last week's Tonight Show. Tonight with John Oliver clips to YouTube in hopes of signing up more Max subscribers. And this poor company is like really. I don't know if that's going to do it. I mean, you think people are going to sign up for Max just for this? No, I don't think so. We can wait a few weeks and then it'll be on YouTube, or somebody will copy it and put it on YouTube. I don't know why these guys feel like they can, or they want to compete for streaming numbers with Netflix. It is not going to work. Just saying, it isn't. But yeah, it's things like this when people hear about stuff like that, they're like, "What? Why? Guess what? I don't need to see it. Why do you need to see John Oliver's clips?" It's not like, yeah, it's I don't get it. Here's something that's really weird. And see, this is why I love just the headlines, because the headlines are super misleading and they don't really tell you um it's this headline in particular is made to make you think that perhaps are they talking about the movie itself, or are they talking about the real lives of these actors? It says here romance sizzles between Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in new look at Joker um, Folly Adieu. Folly Adieu. And yeah, like what do you think? It almost looks like they're trying to insinuate that these two are a couple. You know. Ah. And Skywalker the Jedi is crying for the daylight come and we want to go home. And Gemma Lama says, that's my favorite single scene in the movie. Oh. And Skywalker says should have greenlit Zack Snyder's Justice League sequel, and Max could have competed with Netflix. It's right in their library. I mean, you know what I mean? People want it. People want it. So just put it right in there, right inside the library. And they just didn't want to do it. Just didn't want to do it. So now they have to bargain with Jay Oliver's. So weird. Anyway, Gemma Lama says there's a really cool version of Deo live recording, I think from a TV show back in the day. I can't remember, but it's really cool. Oh, that's nice. with Harry Belafonte, I hope. And Dead Man Walking 55 is here. Hello, Dead Man. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. Good to see you this morning. And yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so now we're gonna keep going. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Now, another big thing that emerged this week, you guys probably already heard about it. There's a brand new AI tool that is making people pretty much shudder where they stand. Okay, it's like they are like people are losing their minds over this Sora is what it's called, AI generated videos, and I love this. It says AI generated videos just destroyed your jobs. Now, it eventually it will destroy some. It may take some jobs from people. This is a completely not just this is a video that that you're looking at a still at, but not only that, this person is a completely made up person from made by the AI. The background, everything that she does in this video is completely created from the AI. And I think they've said woman walking down the street. They gave, there was some prompts given by a human being to the AI, and they came up with this. Very incredible because no need to pay for an actress. You don't need to pay for the makeup and stylist. That's 3 jobs there. You don't have to pay, get a city permit to do any of that stuff. You don't have to sign waivers to get any people in the background for permissions. This is all mitigating so much like paperwork, money, jobs, crazy. Yeah, they don't have to buy those sunglasses. They don't have to buy those earrings. They don't have to do anything but put that into the computer. Make sure the computer's running, but also get a good technician that knows what to tell the computer to do to produce that. And this is where I know a lot of people are, oh my God, that yeah, it's coming to take a lot of jobs. But since and here's where I am going to do a little pushback on that line of thinking. One, well, you're going to need a human being to put in those prompts to get these results. And it is not something that you can do in 5 minutes or 2 minutes and then suddenly the computer comes out with this. You have to play with it. You have to like adjust it. It takes some work to get to something like this. That's the one thing I dislike about a lot of these visual samples, because they don't tell you exactly how long it took for them to get to the results that they get to. So there is humans will be needed to make these technical, creative kind of choices. The second thing is, and who knows how long that will be. The second thing about this is that well, we're gonna have to find new jobs. We're gonna have to find new jobs. Yeah. And so the other thing though that's on top of this that's really actually a good thing is that more and more our society is about content, right? Content 24/7. People are watching videos, they're watching this kind of stuff all day long. They're watching it like 24/7. Everybody's consuming videos. So the more videos that are being consumed, the more, not only is that going to be something that people are going to be wanting. But also, the more we're going to have to come up with stuff too, right? It's the market is demanding more visuals, and so therefore, these things will be part of the visuals, part of the visuals. So it's some trying times out there. It's some trying. That's all I have to say. And Dan says, "Thanks, good to be here." Oh, good. Oh, good. Gemma says, "It's mildly terrifying. Just mildly terrifying." And Elnacon says, "Now CIA can frame you with AI video." See, that's the other piece, is like how good the simulation videos are going to get, and they're getting really good to be able to say, take a visual of somebody like me here, and like I could be like sitting here reading this to you. You would never know. The one thing that they haven't mastered yet is hands. They haven't mastered hands yet, and they haven't mastered like people's like actual body language. So I do all stuff like this, and they won't be able to do that. At least right now, in a couple of months, they will be able to do that. Or maybe like a year, at least a year. Let's give it a year. And the Outcast Creative is here. Hey, how are you? I've been sending you messages. Let me know when you want to get together for the event. We'll talk on Twitter, but yeah, I do want to do one last thing for 1984, and I was going to do it this Friday, but I just took it off the list. So let's schedule something, Lance. And Lance says, the Outcast Creative says, AI is such a massive topic in my industry right now. It's huge. It's huge because the implications mean no need to get all of these things purchased and bought, and contracts. You don't have to put this model in a contract. She doesn't exist. No contract to sign. Okay. And she could be a background. She could be in the front. Once they figure out how to do language very well, they can give her an accent. They can give her a personality type. They can have her as the spokesperson and speak. You can tell that it's AI. There's certain things that you can still notice right now for AI. But this is amazing. They have her hair, like there all those details in her face, the molds that they created. They created. And William Blake Call says, "Oh, woo woo." Stuckman review of Dune just up. Oh, that's awesome. I actually have Stuckman made the news today. Yes, he made the news because of his last video. And Jamalama says Gore's got a review coming in an hour or two. Oh, cool! Everybody's bustling today. Jamalama says, "I'm sure that the intel agencies are already on it. They scheme. That's what they do." And Outcast Creator says, "I reply, Reverend, very happy to do a recording in the week or weekend." Okay. And whenever you're streaming retro, the AI on my Mac keeps playing Almost Paradise from Footloose. I think it's taking over my account already. Oh man. And yeah, so there's going to be a lot. The future of this really seems like it's going to be incredible, because you could like literally have a dream and put that dream into a movie that people can watch the next day if they want. That's how crazy it might get. It might get to the point where you've got like a 2-year-old making a movie about, a fantasy movie about a dragon and all sorts of crazy things. You, we don't know. It could be a huge expansion for mankind. It could also, um, I think we if we're gonna let AI be the end all of creativity right now and cower, we're doomed. We wasn't really we were, you know what I mean? We're doomed. I don't think that is even the opposite of mankind. Mankind knows how to win, knows how to be creative, and this should only expand what we've got going already. Executives are going to use all this stuff because guess what? They're going to save a lot of money. But that also means you can make a movie. That means you can make a blockbuster. That means you can actually like mitigate all of the minutia of making a movie and get your idea like, hey, what about that Spider-Man movie with Superman in it? Like you could do that with, and you won't have the rights. You'll probably have to, do something special for that. But you can make a movie and it will cost you very little money. It won't cost you hundreds of millions of dollars to make a big movie. And I'm like going on too much, but Skywalker the Jedi, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. Retro Nerd Girl in the morning is something I need more often in life. I feel like I'm ready to take on the world. Much love and appreciation. You're so awesome. Stop it. Of course, I have a special thank you for you. Let's see if I can get one. I'll put this one because I like this one. Oh my gosh, I love those so much. Gosh. Thanks again, Skywalker the Jedi. I really appreciate it so much, so much. And Gemma Lama says woolly mammoths are a clue. It's all it's AI. Yeah, there's still a lot of tell signs, and even this video that I have a still of here, and you could tell there's AI. The way the characters move, and then there's some stuff in the background that's not quite that shifts a little bit too much. That it doesn't have a complete grasp on it, but it's a huge jump from where it was last year. Huge jump. And William Blake calls us, I think that in the first Westworld movie, a scared technician asks to see Richard Benjamin's hands because the robot's hands are never quite right. Ooh, interesting. And he also says, we don't need Terminators. AI only needs to conquer our imagination and our virtual world. Yeah, well, that's the next step is virtual worlds, and I think it's going to be um, the next frontier for mankind, honestly. Um, and William Blake Hall says Skywalker is reminding me of Sia singing "Unstoppable." Yeah, it's a great song. Ah, yes, yes, yeah. You have a lovely day. You have a wonderful day. And yeah, so yeah, it's scary, but it's also new territory. We're going down that route anyway. But also touch as much grass as possible and smell the flowers and all that stuff. Always have a plan B. And This is something that's really interesting. Okay, so Bond is like classically loved by most people. I'm a fan, but I'm not a super fan, right? So I casually enjoy a Bond movie here and there. Well, Barbara Broccoli says nothing is happening yet with the next James Bond movie. And so that is really disappointed a lot of people because I think people really wanted somebody to take over by now, or at least somebody to be cast. And so we just have to wait until they're ready to make a move. And who knows how long that might be. And I think maybe they just haven't found the right actor to play the role, and they're looking to see if there's more choices out there of people that could play this character, iconic character, by the way. Then Takashi Yamazaki says that he has no plans to ever release the official budget for Godzilla minus one because then everyone is going to want me to make a movie for that number. Very smart. But I think we've already heard that it's about like 38 million, somewhere around that amount. And I think I haven't seen the movie just yet, but I can't wait. I can't wait. And here's another thing. This is one of the saddest stories. Um, this person, Ned Thorne, says, I worked for 3 months on the Coyote versus Acme. Chris DeFara and many others worked for years to craft a terrific Looney Tunes comedy. They and the film deserve nothing less than a fair shot from Warner Brothers to let audiences decide what it's worth. And yes, this is where, again, I think we all were too easy. We too easily allowed Batgirl to be shelved without much hoopla or much um, without much protest, because now it is becoming a pattern. This is becoming a pattern. The movie's done. It's not like it's partly finished. It's not like it's horrible for the brand because a lot of people has screened it. It has been screened. We talked about this last week. It was screened by all of the major studios, streaming studios, and it actually got they had a certain amount that they wanted for it, but no one they didn't want that to have to pay that much. There was no negotiation allowed for that, no counter offers for the amount that they were asking for, and it was really kind of like, hey, if we can get, I believe it was like 75 million for this movie, then we can sell it to you. But that, that was kind of a steep price for a lot of these movies. So it's one of those things where I believe this is definitely going to go down the road to completely be shelved. It's on track, and people are there are people who are protesting it. There's a hashtag even, but it's breaking my heart to see that this is they're doing this to movies. This is I believe the third one, and they're going to continue to do this. Um, and they don't know the value of the long tail value of movies, because maybe you will get 75 million now. What will you make if they did decide to maybe do hard physical media, right? They're not even exploring those options. It's not interested. They're not interested. But we did get this very interesting thing happen at the BAFTAs. Looney Tunes voice actor Eric Bauza yells, "Release Coyote versus Acme at the I'm sorry, not the BAFTAs, but the Annie Awards. Sorry, at the 2024 Annie Awards." So at least there is awareness getting out there. There is a congressman who's looking into all of this. So hopefully, if anything, we could get awareness out about this. But it looks like it may be sadly too late for this movie. I hope not. I hope a miracle comes through. But this is more on a. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying because this is very important. This is a very important subject matter. Um, William Blake Hall says, which will happen first, American astronauts back on the moon or the next Bond movie? Probably the next Bond movie. Oh, and William Blake Hall, Coyote versus Acme. Gotta love that title. Yeah, it's a great title. And Outcast Creative says not releasing certain videos now has become a studio producer tactic to get a massive tax write-off. Yes, the producers have been paid, of course. They do best out of everyone. Normally talent crew too. Yeah. Yeah, everybody got paid, but and that's you know, the same thing that happened with Batgirl, but honestly, you know, films are not just a piece of you know, it's not just a piece of product. It has cultural significance, and it's also somebody's art. And you couldn't get more artistic. You couldn't get more artistic than to have an animation, and have that animation be put away and locked away is just criminal. And I'm glad there is one congressman. I forgot the name of this congressman, but there is one that is actively looking at this, and you know, it's totally legal. It's totally legal, but is it morally correct? Is this morally correct for not just for the people who worked on this project, but also for mankind? Just I don't mean to make it sound clandestine or anything, but this is a piece of our of human history, and we're just kind of like, oh yeah, let's ball it up and throw it in the trash. Ooh, for a tax write-off. And the Outcast Creative says, but unlike the producers, they depend on people seeing their work in order to get their next job. Yes, yes, exactly. You know, oh, have you seen the, you know, it's just really drives me insane when I think about this. And the Outcast Creative says, so I root for so I root for Ned Thorne. Let the audience decide. Yes, let the audience decide if they want to see something or not. They're just lining their pockets. And William Blake Hall says, I see a darkly comic plot. The producers, they're setting out to make a movie which will never be screened. Oh, yeah, suppose. Yeah, it's really, it breaks my heart. And maybe, you know, I hope they don't make that a practice where people are working on something thinking that it's going to be like, okay, this is my big movie, and really it isn't. It's going to be shelved. Now, Travis Kelce has made a lot of has gotten a lot of attention for being Taylor Swift's new boyfriend, and you know, her support of his career has been sort of an interesting moment in time here. It's really gotten hold of the zeitgeist, and everyone is like super fascinated with both of them. And so he has said that he wants to be as famous as Dwayne The Rock Johnson and has assembled a powerful team to get him there. So I like that fact that he has no shame in his game. It's like, yeah, I want to be famous. So it tells you a lot and makes you kind of go, huh, I really hope that. That Taylor has her eyes open with this particular situation because he's definitely being very upfront about his what he's doing here. Industry insiders tell the Wrap that Kelsey and his team are considering movie roles, developing unscripted shows for the star, exploring comedy opportunities, and pursuing product endorsements. It's a good start. And so, yes, here we go. We are going to talk about Chris Stockman and his latest video that he put out that is titled, I Have to Talk About This. And I think this was basically talking about Madam Web and his feelings about everything that happened, is surrounding the movie. And one thing that a lot of people are really upset at him about is the fact that he said that he really, and I'm really paraphrasing, I'm not getting it completely right, but it had to do with avoiding actually critiquing the film. Um, but when I watched the entire video, um, and yeah, a lot of people said that he should critique the film because that's why they signed up for, to be subscribers on his channel because they wanted to hear his point of view on it. Now, I have been subscribed to Chris Stuckman for a long time. I think since he like got started, and I have seen several of his reviews where he was like savage, super savage. And I noticed like within, ever since his, I think he kind of went through sort of like a big change and started to do less and less of those like savage takedown of movies. And especially when he announced that he was going to make his own movie. And so I always knew this day was going to come. He was gonna just like, no, I'm not gonna say anything bad about this bad movie, is kind of the way a lot of people got, you know, translated the things that he said. And I think it's absolutely within his right to do exactly that. And of course, it's within everybody's right to criticize that too. I feel like when I watch the video, there's still a lot of substance in that video talking about the actual like the things and the reasons why we would get a movie like Madam Web. He did a wonderful, insightful talk about the insides of Hollywood, what could or how this could happen, in his summation, what he thinks happened behind the scenes to lead up to this movie in the form that it is. And I think to me, I felt like it served enough. I don't think he needed to go into bigger detail. And a lot of things, how the internet feels like it can get really explosive, and people are like, I'm unsubscribing, this kind of thing. And I'm like, listen, things change when you actually have to meet the people that you're criticizing. If you actually met someone that you are criticizing online face to face, it gets to be a little bit, um, you know, it's not the same. You have to figure out a way to be tactful, and there are ways to be tactful and still criticize. And yeah, I think I do that on this channel. I mean, I'm not always, I don't love everything, but I think uh, we don't have to always like beat up uh, a situation or a project because everyone else is. There's so and he says this in his video. He says there are plenty of other channels that are going into full detail on this how they feel about this movie negatively, and there's no need to add more to that. And I agree with that sentiment. You know, there's no need to add to it, but even still with a movie like that, um, like to chime in your feelings, I think that's something I think his fans want it, and it's just a weird situation. I hope that people can give him some empathy and give him a break, give him a break. But yeah, I knew this day would come when that you'd have to just not be as mean as I've seen some bad ones. I think one of the ones that he really went to town on, I'm not sure, I think it was like Pixels, or it was one Adam Sandler movie where Adam Sandler is playing his own twin sister. And oh, yes, Outcast Creative. Yes, I knew exactly what you meant, Lance. And Chimalama says, good on the congressman of he or she is trying to do something about it, but I'm not hopeful on that front. If enough people became aware and start making noise, maybe. Yeah, I think we need to make a bigger noise, but it's hard to get everybody all together for this one. It just seems like more people are separated on this, and just it is frustrating. I just wish I could go in there and go to the Warner Brothers vaults and break free a couple of the movies in there. And yes, let's see. And William Blake Hall says, "Trouble is, Rock's been at it forever. I recall him way back on Star Trek Voyager. Oh yes, he's been doing this for a long, long time. But I think what he's talking about is just yeah. I mean, of course, he would love a shortcut, but and uh, I don't know. He says he wants it, so let's see him go get it." General says Pfizer spokesman makes him uh, Pfizer spokesman makes him a detestable in my eyes. Who? Oh gosh, maybe I'm too far behind. Best comment I saw was how to say Madam Web. Oh, how to say Madam Web is bad without actually saying Madam Web is bad. Yes, 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 yes. I saw that one too, and yeah, it's hard to um when you respect movies, and I know there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I respect movies, but when you have a certain kind of respect for movies, I would say um that happens. But it's hard, like if you don't like a movie and you're like, well, I didn't really like it so much. There is that, and then there are some people who are yelling and screaming into the camera about all of the little details that they hate about something, and um, it is the prime way that a lot of channels do get a lot of subscribers, and I'll get a lot of people on board because people love when you rant about something that you don't like. I mean, I think Chris also did and everybody did a review for um, Gods of Egypt, and it wasn't nice, you know. So it's very difficult to say like what's going on there exactly, but um, he's trying to make a change, and I just felt like we should give him a break. Um, he's, you know, I'm like that. I always feel bad that people are getting attacked online. And William Blake Hall says he likes the director. The rest is not much. Yeah, he liked the director. Um, and I recall when Chris was QMR very early, and Chris was over 2 million subs. He can take a little heat. Well, I mean, just because he has 2 million subs, it doesn't mean that he's not like I mean, he's still a human being, but he's getting it from a lot of people. There's YouTube, but there's also Twitter or X, and I mean, it's merciless. It's merciless, and so I do feel like everybody's entitled to a mistake or two, or or just not, or just like not agreeing with um the way you would have handled something, a misstep or something. Moonbeam says, okay, when I stopped watching Chris when he reviewed Alita Battle Angel Cats, but I think I won't fault anyone for watching like Veterinary Girl. Um, yeah, and Moonbeam says, there are films I don't like and I'll never watch. And Jack and Jill was the Adam. So yes, that one. And everybody pretty much. I never did get to see that one. Um, and yeah, people love drama. Yeah. Uh, and William says, fair point. I don't follow Twitter X. Yeah, yeah. It's a pile. There, a lot of people are piling on. Even people he's known for years, like people who actually know him. Um, and which is sad. And Moonbeam says I can still call Twitter. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I hope things work out for him, and so on. I just, oof. Yeah. It- when you have 2 million people following you, this is what happens. So yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. But it's still gotta hurt as a human being. And Basim Youssef is in the news. He's an actor. He says that he lost a role in Superman Legacy. Um, he was told that it was due to script changes, but he believes that it was because he spoke out against the ongoing genocide happening in Palestine. Now, this was the article that was first released. I believe it was on the 15th, but later on we got some confirmation that this is not this is out of context. First of all, see, this is why the headlines are just so interesting. This is completely this is leading people to think that that this actor was denied a role because of his views or beliefs. And this is not the case in this particular situation. Number one, he was asked this, and this is where journalists are really, I would say, so irresponsible with the questions that they ask. They have to be responsible for some of the questions that they ask, because as a person in the public eye, you could be asked a question that will destroy and disseminate your entire career. And basically, this journalist asked him, a very a question in which he was expecting to get this kind of a result. And he asked him, "Have do you think there's any or have you do you recall?" I'm not getting the wording exactly right, but do you recall a job in which um, your views stopped you from getting the job? And so I think if he hadn't been asked that, we wouldn't even have this wouldn't even exist. But Basim was like, well, I think, and I don't know, but this is, the timing looked like it was about right because I spoke up against what was happening, and I was up for a role, and I didn't hear back from them, or I heard that it fell through. So the timing was also like something that he had been processing as possibly connecting. James Gunn got on I believe on Twitter of all places. I believe that they spoke to each other on the phone, and then James Gunn also got on Twitter and kind of said, "Hey, this is, that's not exactly how it happened." But then Basim also got on Twitter and said, "Definitely, I got it wrong." He says he doesn't want any bad blood, and so on and so forth. So it's a false story. It's much ado about nothing, really. But this is another example of how a title or a headline can lead people to believe something that's not true. So, or taken something and blown it up like way too much, way too much. But here's more a better headline. Here's about that. It appears that James Gunn's DC universe, including Superman Legacy, had a role to play in Superman and Lois getting canceled after 4 seasons. Now, this is a very successful TV show. People loved this show. And imagine that even though this is a loved show, that it was removed because, um, and we'll get into this, uh, the CW's Brad Schwartz says the decision to end Superman and Lois was by Warner Brothers not to have the series conflict with Superman Legacy. Very, very interesting. They don't want a competing Superman product in the marketplace. A successful, like this was successful. So why would you take away the thing that was working? Uh, another head scratching thing for us uh, to add to the pile of all the other head scratching things. And let's see. Yeah, it's just it just kind of, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Now gonna do something with casting. We're just gonna go through it real quick. Molly Shannon joins Only Murders in the Building season 4. We've got a surprise announcement this week for the Marvel Fantastic Four cast. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and these other guys. I really don't know them very well, but they are part of the new cast of Fantastic Four. I wonder if uh, Unicorn Rampant Studio is still here. I know that he knows a lot about these guys, about a Fantastic Four, how he feels about um, the choices. And so let's see. Martin Scorsese is going to be playing Dante Alighieri's mentor in Julian Schnabel's upcoming in the Hand of Dante. We can't pronounce any of these names, but it's still fun to try. But yes, he is going to be playing a role in a film in the Hand of Dante. And Galacticus is reportedly the main villain of the Fantastic Four movie, guys, with Javier Bardem named as top choice for the role. Marvel are currently searching for an actor to play the Silver Surfer. Now, this is going to be interesting because I'm going to connect the dots here. Henry Cavill has been offered an MCU role and accepted. Now, there is no, they did not say what the name of the role would be. So it's quite possible that he may have been the one chosen to play Galactus or Silver Surfer. Some people were speculating Doctor Doom. Um, he could be like some random scientist, a politician. He could be anyone in this, but a lot of people are really excited to see him play a character in Marvel Studios. Some people were also speculating that he would play Captain Britain, or perhaps there may be another one that I'm thinking of. Um, but he's yeah, he's gonna be in Marvel Studios. Hey, look, uh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what happens. It says he was offered something else and he accepted, meaning from the greatest superhero, Superman, to our greatest Marvel villain, Doctor Doom. So this is someone suspecting or guessing that he's going to probably play Doctor Doom, but a scooper by the name of My Time to Shine says that he was offered uh, he was offered something else and he's accepted. So uh, it's interesting. It's very interesting. And when I think about it, and it would be very interesting to see him play Doctor Doom, but a lot of people have said that it's probably improbable because he would be covering his face, and um, it might not work. But he does have a great voice, so I don't know. I don't know that's this is the wildest news though. This is the wild guys, this is the wildest news. Jennifer Gardner in talks to star in Ben Affleck's crime thriller Animals. And so that's going to be interesting dynamic, and I wonder if she will be okay with uh Jennifer his current wife. So yeah, that's wild. I suspect that maybe they are on good terms and everything is cool, but it's just such a strange dynamic to see that. And Moonbeam says that casting choice might work for the Fantastic Four. Good. And Jamalama says I'm this silver-haired surfer. Oh, cool. Lance with the Outcast Creative says, "Give me a can of silver spray and paint. I'm there." And Moonbeam says Larry Fishburne was a Silver Surfer in 2007. And William Blake Hall says Reed Richards is boring. Fix that. You finally get a Fantastic Four, right? Well, Pedro Pascal is going to be doing it, so maybe he'll insert some extra juice into the character. You never know. Um, and Moonbeam 87 says he actually went by the name Larry Fishburne in the color purple. Um, and And William Blake Hall says, always happy to see Garner. Yeah, I like her so much. I do. I do like her. Um, I just, yeah, the dynamic will be very interesting. I can't wait to see the red carpet for that, or the promotions for that, how they're going to pull that off. And Reach a Star is, people have been wanting and sort of fan casting um, Alan Richardson for, Alan Richardson for Batman. And I see him more as a Bane. For some reason, I see him more as Bane with his stature like that. Bane, okay. Um, but yeah, they're talking about it in the zeitgeist, or the rumor mill. And he says the fact that people are interested in me playing Batman is a real honor and a privilege. I would absolutely love to play him. Well, I after hearing about the story about the CW Superman being, being canceled because they don't want any competing Batman or competing franchise material, it just makes me wonder if Bold and the Brave, the Batman movie from the DCU, is actually going to happen, or if it's going to happen like way, because there's a lot of competition for that. There's the Batman, and so I wonder, like, how's that going to work? How will that work? How will it work? So yeah, this is all interesting stuff. Margot Robbie's first post-Barbie movie, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, is just sold to Sony. So Sony will be producing that. And Sony Pictures has acquired the world rights to A Big, Beautiful Journey. I'm sorry, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, a fantasy romance starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell in the first major deal of the European film market in Berlin. Lots of things happened in Berlin this week. And Nicolas Cage is reportedly in talks to star in the live-action Spider-Man noir series. So there's that. More Spider-Man stuff is not going away. Now, this is an interesting bit of news that they shared online. 28 Days Later, which is a movie I need to see, is not available on any streaming VOD platform, and the Blu-ray is currently out of print. Can you believe that? A movie like 28 Days Later. That's weird. That's weird. Who dropped the ball on this one? That's crazy. There's some new projects happening. Michael Keaton faces no shortage of obstacles as an aging assassin in the trailer for Knox Goes Away, starring Al Pacino and James Marsden. And that's coming. Will Smith to star and produce in the crime thriller Sugar Bandits. Exclusive, filmmaker Alex Cox is getting back behind the wheel for Reaper Man 2. Guys, Reaper Man 2. Kiowa Gordon, best known for his role in Emerald Call, The Twilight Saga, and for his work in the AMC series Dark Winds, is set to lead the cast as Otto. So they've got their leading man already. Jonathan Van Tulleeken, Tulleeken, there we go. Shogun will direct the first 2 episodes of Blade Runner 2029 for Prime Video. Okay, so yeah, that was a shock to me. I was like, oh, they're doing a Prime a Blade Runner series. So yeah, they're doing it. I thought they did one in the 90s as well, but I could be wrong about that. Filming begins in late spring in Prague, so I can't wait to see that. Blade Runner 2029, Jonathan Van Tuliken, set to direct as Amazon gears up for production in new location. That's in Prague. Also, Money Heist spin-off of Berlin renewed for season 2 by Netflix. We also got a drop of Shirley, the trailer from Regina King, as she stars as a political icon, Shirley Chisholm, in the John Ridley film for Netflix. Sorry about that. And more Pokemon. Well, let's go back to that really quick. She looks really good as it looks like she's giving off auntie vibes. And yeah, more Pokemon Concierge episodes are coming to Netflix. Poor Things director Yorgos Lanthimos will helm a remake of South Korean fantasy comedy Save the Green Planet with Element Pictures, Ari Aster's Square Peg, and CGENM on board as producers. And I kind of want to see the original. I kind of want to see the original. Prime Video has greenlit a feature-length documentary chronicling the final 12 days of Roger Federer's professional tennis career. That's coming. A new trailer for The Sympathizer is here, along with several new looks at Robert Downey Jr. So he's really getting into these character roles where he gets to change and become something else or somebody else. Really cool. I love that. Oscar-nominated actress Lily Gladstone will reteam with director Marissa Maltz for the film Jazzy. The film is a companion piece to the duo's previous film in the 2002 film The Unknown Country. So that is pretty good. Let's see if you guys have anything else that you wanted to say. William says Alan Richardson could be Batman gone rogue. He wanders like a drifter, getting involved in adventures. Oh, maybe. And Moonbeam says, gotta go. Ciao for now. Oh, okay. Well, you have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was fun. And Jamala says, such a great film. And I think you're meaning 28 Days Later, right? And William Blake also says they should call it Repo Man Possessed. And William Blake Hall says, my mom loved Shirley Chisholm. Yeah, I don't know anybody who didn't like her. Yeah. And Ridley Scott is going to be directing a Bee Gees movie, which is really quite interesting. I can't wait to see it. And Tig Notaro, I actually like her a lot. Returns to Amazon with a new stand-up special. I want to check that out. She's fun. A new big budget movie adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula is on the way under the working title Dracula, a love tale from Taken writer Luc Besson. Wow. Speechless. I can't wait to hear more about this. And Denis Villeneuve is no longer directing Jake Gyllenhaal's HBO miniseries, The Sun. And so I can't wait to find out who's gonna take the role? Who do you get to replace Denis Villeneuve? Tell me. Who do you get? Bleecker Street has acquired U.S. distribution rights to the sci-fi thriller Slingshot. So that's another one. And this one is interesting. Uh, I was looking at this and just going, who is in there? Riley Keogh and Jesse Eisenberg are Bigfoots in Sasquatch Sunset. Sasquatch, that word, Sasquatch Sunset. Isn't that cool? I can't wait to see that. And this is something that's very interesting. Disney Plus unveils 4 Korean series additions for 2024, and I hope that they know what they're doing, because it just feels like they're chasing after Netflix again, and that's what they should not do. But it could also be that they're running out of means to their own content, and so it would be much easier to just buy foreign properties. And also, this Mufasa the Lion King is coming at some point, possibly very soon. And the current runtime is 1 hour and 59 minutes. That might be a little over long for a cartoon, but hopefully they'll get it all dialed in by the time we get to see it. And we have Warner Brothers announced the new Mickey 17 release date for Bong Joon-ho's next movie will be January 31st, 2025. Not the best slot time for a movie to be released, but I guess it has to be. It's a tough one. They must have some other things that they feel are more winners. That's almost a year after its initial release date, so it's being pushed back quite a bit. The only good news is that will also be released in IMAX theaters. Yeah. January is not a good time of year for movies. This is very interesting. This young lady used to be on a show called Good Luck Charlie on the Disney Channel, and now she's all grown up, but she is into tech. She just launched a satellite data startup, and that is pretty amazing. It just blows my mind. But I do love to see when people in the uh, in the industry branch out and do other things. You know how people are like, "Oh, what happened to that actor and actress? They fell off." No, they're probably building a multi-billion-dollar company, which will probably all be using this, this product that she's got going on here. Incredible. Danielle Deadweiler, known for her lead performance in Till, is starring in and executive producing a film for Blumhouse, The Woman in the Yard. And again, this is the way to go as an actor, actress. Invest in yourself, and forego the new car, the new house, and put that money back into the business. And get yourself a good project to work on, and so you can actually show off your skills and get better jobs. Wonderful. Love this. And even Usher is getting involved. Usher's to executive produce a drama series inspired by his music for Universal. And I believe this is the last story. Disney And this is not actually this is a story that's not actually um, proven, or does not have. I don't have a confirmation that this isn't a rumor. Uh, so this is, I would consider this rumor right now. Disney has reportedly signed a deal with Sony to take over all of Disney's physical media production going forward. So that would actually be very good because it seems like Disney is very lost in that department. But right now, we'll accept it as a possible story of rumor, and next week, or within the next coming weeks, we'll find out if this is actually true. I will look into it and make sure to get back to you guys on this. Oh, okay, this is a repeat. And I think, yeah, this is the last card. We have a few more awards ceremonies to go through. So on Saturday, we have the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Sunday, we have the Film Independent Spirit Awards and also the Producers Guild Awards. And is it next week or maybe 2 weeks from now? We get the Academy Awards on March 10th. So, yes. Yay, we finished. Wow, that was that was a lot of stories. Weren't there a lot of stories, guys? Oh my gosh. I absolutely love it. All right. Let's see. And William Blake calls this Ridley Scott staying alive. I know. It's so weird because when I saw the story, I was like, had the Bee Gees music in my head, and I was like, I can't wait to see what he does with that. And Kitty said, "Okay, I'm back, everybody." Oh, awesome! And Jim Alamo says, "Oh, how wow, maybe people will actually watch Disney Plus now." Oh, maybe. Um, and Keith E says, "Alleged is a good word." Yeah. I mean, I don't want to release, say something that's not true, um, or fly off the handle with a gossip thing. I like to make sure that it comes from, something like a Variety or a Hollywood Reporter. They're really like, and even they make mistakes sometimes, but they, on the most part, are uh, correct with the things that they say, on the most part. Or Sil Abdul. Sil Abdul has like amazing stuff. So, Gemma Lama says, "Oh, Johnson and Johnson, the most criminally fined of big pharma, won 18 billion in the last decade." I had just looked that up, by the way. Um, I'm not sure what this is in reference to. You gotta let me know what that's in reference to. I don't know what was it in reference to. Um, but okay, so let me just before I go, just do a rundown of the events for this week. And so usually on a Friday I would do uh, a discussion with you guys. And since my schedule is going crazy and I really do need to figure this out, I'm going to postpone some of the Fridays and just get myself together. I think I need to do that. But we got Tuesday. We got an extra day Tuesday. So we threw that into the mix. And anything else? I am going to do the 1984 music just gonna organize with Lance what day we can schedule for us to do that together. That would be a lot of fun. To just to get that done, because I know Lance will have a lot of cool things that to say about that. The next so today is Wednesday. Later on today I have a couple of things going on. At 5, I will be on Lorena Creole's channel with her Spice Lounge that she has going on there. We'll be talking about current events. Then at 8 p.m. Central, my time, I don't know what your time's going to be. I'll have to double check. I'm going to be on Al Necron's channel. We'll be doing a Pandora's box with Skywalker the Jedi. We're going to be having a nice little conversation about Rebel Moon and other things to do with fandoms and things like that, probably. And tomorrow I may be posting a video, so do look out for that. A first time watch video, and it will be one from the members videos, one of the members videos. Let's see, there's something else too I want to do. Okay, on Saturday, I'll be doing the watch party for Saturn 3, and this Sunday, do look out for a brand new movie review from me on Sunday. It's going to be a nice little retro movie that I hope you guys are going to like. And the patrons already saw it for a whole week. It's they've already had early access on it, so I will make it public for everybody on Sunday. And I think that will be it for now. Yes, I think that will be it for now. And Jamalama says it was the product that actress was endorsing or coming out with. There is a JJ in the background. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if that was for her her project, right? I don't. That might have been a stock photo. Thanks, Retro. Good show. See you around, everybody. Oh, okay. Yes. Well, yes. Thank you for being here. And guys, I am going to clear out of here. And thank you guys for hanging out with me for 2 hours and a half, pretty much, and allowing me to kind of, just go through the headlines with you and share my opinions and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna see if I can call up that video. Here we go for the outro. Yes, I have the outro set up so you guys can say goodbyes, your goodbyes and everything. And without further ado, I bid you adieu, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.